Social media and websites might show you where you want to stay. Sales, they tell you when to book. But they rarely tell you where you actually are. I'm Megan, and yes, I talk about Sandals and Beaches resorts. The weekly sales, the promos worth booking, and the ones you can skip. Room categories, upgrades, insider tips, and how to actually get the best value for your vacation. But a resort doesn't exist in a vacuum. It sits on an island with a story, shaped by history, culture, food, people, and moments you'll never find on a booking page. On Islands Uncovered, we go beyond the resort gates. We talk about the islands and the people that Sandals and Beaches call home. The legends, the flavors, the unexpected stories hiding just beneath the surface. Because the best trips aren't just well priced, they're well understood. This is where smart booking meets storytelling. This is where vacations feel more meaningful. This is Islands Uncovered. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Weekly Sandals Sales Report, where we talk about all things sandals and beaches, what's on sale, what promos are running, and how you can get the very best deal when you are going to book your next vacation down in the Caribbean. My name is Megan. I am the owner of Dare to Dream Travel and the host of Islands Uncovered. So thank you again for tuning in. This week, we are going to dive right into the sales because I know that is what everybody's here for. Okay, so first, this is the last week of the Sandals Suiteheart Sale. This sale, as we talked about last week, it goes through deposits put down until February 16th. So we've got until next Monday to put down a deposit to take advantage of the Suiteheart sale. After that, I'm not sure what they're going to do, if they are going to extend it or if they're going to put something else out there. If I had to guess, I would think they're going to put something else out there because this Suiteheart sale is really geared towards Valentine's Day and romance with the candlelight dinner. So I'm very curious to see what happens, but I'm thinking they might switch it. I've been wrong before though. So the Suiteheart sale. This means that you are going to get the resort credit, just like we've been seeing on past promos for all of the resorts across the board. It is going to go up based on how many nights you spend. So if you're only there for 4 nights, you're going to get less resort credit as compared to if you go 10 or more. And by resort credit, I mean this is a discount off the rate. Then if you are going to Jamaica and you stay 5 or more nights, you are going to get a free private candlelight dinner. This is a great option if you're looking for something a little more romantic. You get to order off of a separate menu, and it's usually on the beach or in some sort of pergola or private area. So super fun if you're looking to add a little romance to your next trip. I know a lot of people love these, especially for honeymoons. And then if you are going 7 or more nights, there are certain resorts that are going to offer 1 free night. Now, we talked about this, like I said, last week, because this is the same sale. These are going to be at only the following resorts, and it's going to be mostly butler rooms except for 2. So it's all of the butler rooms if you are going to Grenada, Ochi, or Antigua. If you're going to St. Lucia and going to stay at the Grand or Latac, there are only certain butler rooms that this 1 free night applies to. And then if you're planning a trip to Sandals Montego Bay, obviously in Jamaica, there are a bunch of butler rooms that this is going to apply to, but this is the only resort that also has 2 club level rooms included in this free night promotion. These are swim ups, so they are on the higher end of the club level rooms, but they are included in the 1 free night. So we'll talk about what rooms are on 777 this week that you can stack on top of this Suiteheart sale. Now, of course, all of the rooms you're going to get the extra resort credit, but it's the 1 free night that we're particularly interested in. And then, of course, anything in Jamaica, 5 or more nights, you get the candlelight dinner. I do want to mention, because I have a lot of clients ask me about this each week, if you have already booked and then you would like, if you've already booked and you have, let's say, a promo for a spa credit or a catamaran cruise or something else, you can't just switch it to the current promo. You can cancel your room completely and rebook and make a new booking, and we can start from scratch, but you lose whatever promo you booked under. So I always try to have my clients' best interests in mind. And if they reach out and they're like, look, I saw that this new promo is running, I really break it down for them and I explain, okay, yes, we can do this and switch it. Here's what you're going to gain. Here's what you're going to lose. Assess the value and let's go from there. I do want to mention also, because we didn't talk about this last week, that beaches, they do not have an equivalent to the new Sweetheart sale running. They have still running that winter blue sale. Now, this is going to be a much more restricted sale. So the Sweetheart sale actually is good for bookings made through December 25th of 2027. So you could book a trip for November of next year, and all of the stuff we just talked about will apply to your booking. Beaches, they are filling up a lot more quickly than sandals. There's many different reasons why, but mainly because there are only two of them and there are multiple sandals locations. So when there's only two resorts open, people who want to go take their kids because these are the family resorts, they're just going to book up faster. So the sale, the Winter Blues sale, only goes for travel through November 3rd of this year. There are also a lot of blackout dates. There's a blackout date coming up. It's like next week. I don't think anybody's going to be reaching out to book for next week. So that's irrelevant at this point. But also around that spring break time, so end of March into early April, that's going to be blacked out for this sale. And then middle of May through about August 8th, I believe, is blacked out for this sale as well. That is going to be summer break. These resorts are super popular when your kids are out of school. So they black out those dates and the sale doesn't apply. But if you're looking beyond the, end of August or September, October, early May, we can certainly have this winter blues sale apply. And what that is 5+ nights and you get the $150 spa credit. And then if you stay 7 or more nights, you receive a two-person catamaran cruise, which I love the catamaran cruise when it's offered as a promo. I think, for me personally, I think that is the best booking incentive perk that you can throw on top of any of these other things. Everybody's different. Everybody likes different stuff. Just my opinion. Okay, so then, and that beaches winter blue sale, they have it listed as going through March 2nd. So if the Sweetheart sale changes, that winter blue sale is going to stay the same at beaches through March 2nd. So I will update you next week on what the Sandals properties, what their current promo is. But let's dive into the 777 rooms this week because there are a few things I want to point out, even though most of the rooms available on 777 this week are rooms that we've seen come up quite frequently over the last month or so. So let's start with beaches. Again, just two beaches resorts, Beaches Negril and Beaches Turks and Caicos. We have, let's see here. We have 3 rooms being offered at Beaches Turks and Caicos. Standard villages that we've been seeing. We've got the Key West 1-bedroom concierge suite, the Italian penthouse ocean view concierge suite, and the Treasure Beach concierge suite. All concierge room levels this week at the Beaches Turks and Caicos. The Key West 1-bedroom concierge is going to be your least expensive of those 3. The Treasure Beach will most likely be the highest just because that is the brand new village opening on March 3rd. What I wanted to point out is mainly in the Beaches Negril list of rooms for the 777s this week. They have a 3-bedroom butler walkout, which is fantastic. And then they have a tropical, oversized concierge family suite. This has got the king bed and a pull-out sofa all in one big room. But what I wanted to point out is, as you know, Sandals and Beaches, the name nuances, sometimes it's just one word or two, and you really got to know what they mean when you're looking at these rooms. So there are 2 rooms this week that in the name title, it says family room. Both of these room categories can sleep more people comfortably than you think. Sometimes they'll list, oh, this room has a capacity of 8 people, but you've got 2 people on sleeper chairs in the same room as the king bed. And it's not ideal. These rooms, I think, are really great in terms of setup for families because they don't have a big like living room area, but it's two separate rooms that are connected. So there's a room with a king bed, and then there's a room that you're connected to that is two double beds in there. And then the room with the king bed does have a pull-out couch. There's a trundle in the tropical ocean view concierge family room that's on 777 this week can sleep 8 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. And you have a separate room for with the two double beds that the kids can be in. So to me, I think that's a great room. And then the Grand Lux family room is also set up very similarly. I will also mention that there's two bathrooms in the concierge family room where there's, because it's two separate rooms. It's like a remodel was done and they're just connecting rooms. So I think these are really nice rooms if you're not so much into like having a big living room space because it just gives a little bit of separation to bathrooms and their concierge level. So you're not looking at a top level room. Okay, and then lastly, moving over to sandals. Again, these are rooms that we have seen frequently over the last few weeks. The 777s are based on inventory and rooms available. That's why we tend to see the same ones. So we are going to Jamaica. We're going to Sandals Royal Plantation. This is the all Butler Resort. We've got the Viceroy Honeymoon Oceanfront Butler Suite. If you love smaller resorts, Butler level service, this is a great resort for you. Then we are back at Sandals St. Vincent, favorite of many, favorite of mine. We've got the 1 bedroom Butler suite with the media room. So we've got a separate bedroom with the king bed and a living space with the big TV. This does not have a private pool, but it is in that quieter Butler area of the resort. And like I said, a lot of people love Sandals St. Vincent because it is the newest Sandals 2.0. They seem to be just rotating through a few of the Butler rooms over there. If I see anything, although they did have the club rooms on sale, so I'll take that back. For the couple weeks ago, they did have the two different club level rooms with the fitness room and the media room. So now we're back at the Butler rooms. Okay. Sandals Royal Bahamian. This has got the West Bay Club swim up room that we have seen. Sandals Royal Bahamian is great. It's got the private island. I would not suggest booking that in the dead of winter just because it doesn't get quite as hot as some of the other places in the Caribbean. So if you're like me and when you go, you want it to be hot, Bahamas, maybe not the best choice for like December or January, right in the heart of the winter time. But again, you could book this anytime through December of 2027 and get this room on 777 and it's swim up. Then over in the grill, we have a 1 bedroom sky pool butler suite. This is going to be up on, I believe, the fourth floor. You've got a pool, private pool that jets out kind of on your balcony. That's what the sky pools are. So this is a great private pool. It's not huge, but it's a fun amenity to have, and it's that butler level service over on the beautiful 7 Mile Beach in Negril. Curacao. Curacao is one of the only ones this week that has a club level room. So we're back at the Carissa club level. It's an ocean. It says it's the club ocean view room. Now remember, when you're looking at rooms, again, ocean view means it could be a partial ocean view. You're not right set on the beach. You're not ocean front. You're not beach front. It's ocean view, meaning you could have more, you could have less. Just keep that in mind. For me personally, I'm not in my room very much anyway. I like to have a little sliver of the water, but it's not the end of the world if I don't. Again, everybody's different. That's why you have a travel advisor to help you find the very best room that fits what you are looking for. Okay, now we have two left. Okay, now we have two left, and these are going to be the ones that you can stack on top of the Sweetheart sale. So these are butler level rooms at Latak and Ochi, and they are the certain butler rooms that you can have the stay 7 nights, get one free. So at Latak, you're going to be on Sunset Bluff, Ocean View, one bedroom butler rooms. So you're up on that bluff area. So it's on 777. You get the additional 7% off, and you get the one free night if you stay 7 or more nights. And then going back to Jamaica, so Sandals Ochi, you have the one bedroom poolside butler villa. This is also included in the stay 7, get one night free. It is on 777 as well. It is currently listed less of a cost than some of the club rooms. Remember, Ochi's huge. These butler rooms, they are up on the bluff on the backside of the resort, but they do run golf carts back and forth across that road, especially if you have a butler, they're going to make it super easy for you. I want to mention that this is the lowest cost, typically butler room that is available at Sandals Ochi. So this is your entry level butler room at Ochi. There's many different butler rooms. So this is not being on 777. This is the lowest a butler room is going to go at Sandals Ochi, which includes the 777 rate, the one free night, and because you're in Jamaica, you're going to get the free candlelight private dinner as well. So I wanted to call out all of those rooms in particular because I think those are the ones to pay attention to. But again, all of these rooms have the resort credit from the Sweetheart sale. All of the rooms in at any of the Jamaica properties, 5 plus more nights, have the candlelight dinner included in the promo. Please reach out if you have questions about any of these rooms, any of the resorts. There are hundreds of other rooms available, and I would love to help you find the very best resort for you, the very best room for your next vacation. My services are always 100% free to you, and I provide no pressure, personalized help with planning your vacation. You're always going to work with me, and you're supporting a small business. So, thank you very much for listening or watching if you are on YouTube. And I will come back with another Islands Uncovered on Monday where we venture off resort. And I think we're going to be back in Jamaica on Monday. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.